Sorry, it's really very special to be able to introduce the inaugural recipient of NCAN's Richard D. Krugman Award. It's also a little awkward because the award's in my name. And as you can see, I'm quite alive. I grew up thinking you needed to have shuffled off the mortal coil before you got something named for you, but it turns out that's not true. The NCAN staff perpetrated this on me several months ago, and in truth, I'm okay with it. I'm particularly okay with it because having Dr. Nancy Gary as the first recipient of this award is simply fabulous. She is an extraordinary woman. She grew up in Westchester, New York, went to Smith College, rooming next to Gloria Steinem. She married her late husband, Sam, in 1953, and they moved to Denver, where he began a very successful career in oil and gas. Sam and Nancy started the Piton Foundation in 1976, which has supported hundreds and hundreds of programs over the past 45 years in our community. Nancy has been laser focused on helping children for decades. I first met her in the spring of 1976, having no clue who she was or what the foundation was that she had started, when she applied to the Child Health Associate Physician Assistant Program. I was the director of admissions for that program and interviewed her and was very impressed. Following her 3 years in the program, her first job was with the Child Protection Team at Colorado General Hospital and the Kemp Center, which I was to become director of, where she evaluated abused children with my first fellow, Dr. Donna Rosenberg. After a few years, Nancy was so frustrated with the reality that very few abused children and their families were getting any treatment, mental health treatment at all, that she left us for the University of Denver, where she attained her psychology doctorate. And for the past 35 years, she's been treating abused children in her private practice, most of them pro bono. The other point I need to make is that it was Nancy who was there for me personally the 2 times in my professional life that I really needed help. The first time was November 1982. I had been appointed director of the National Center for Prevention and Treatment of Child Abuse and Neglect by its founder, C. Henry Kemp. No search process. A year later, we were within 6 weeks of closing our doors for lack of funds, which was incredibly awkward because I had just recruited a child psychiatrist named David Jones from England to start with us on January 1st of 1983. Nancy, via Piton, gave us a $40,000 grant and a $30,000 loan, which was enough to keep the doors open. Parenthetically, David Jones was the child psychiatrist who evaluated, treated, and did the video deposition of 3-year-old Lori Poland that led to the conviction of her kidnapper, abuser, and attempted murderer in September of 1983. The second time Nancy stepped in was in 2016. I had stepped down as dean of the University of Colorado School of Medicine after 25 years, and with Lori wanted to explore whether there was a need for a national foundation focused on ending child abuse and neglect. Lori was in a successful private practice, but once Nancy had met her and talked with us, she gave us a $90,000 grant that allowed us to test the feasibility of what is now NCAN. So to the extent that I'm honored to have my name on the award, it's only because Nancy Gary was there at 2 critical early points in my career in child abuse. Without her, I would have been the second and last director of the Kemp Center. And without her, I would have been just another retired dean, probably consulting or coaching other deans somewhere around the country. Thank you, Dr. Nancy Gary. I'm thrilled that you are the first recipient of the NCAN Richard D. Krugman Award. Congratulations.
I have received other awards, but none so meaningful to me as this one. Dick Krugman gave me my first job and got me started. When I started to think of what I wanted to say about Dick, or to Dick, I couldn't remember when we first met, so I called Dick because he never forgets a date. And the message I got back was, Nancy, our first meeting was in my bathroom office at Colorado General in the spring of 1976, our USA bicentennial year. I was director of admissions of the Child Health Associate Program, and you were an applicant. He did accept me into the program, and we've been friends ever since. I could always call him for a magic email, which is a text or a note from Dick to whatever doctor I needed to see but couldn't get an appointment with for the next 6 months. And the next day, I got a call from that doctor and was able to see him right away, me, my family, or my friends. It always worked. I remember when I was a student and we would be taking a test, Dick would wander into the classroom of a pretty bunch of uptight students and would say, the answers to the test are CCC, ABA. And that relaxed us. I completed the program and I was ready to work at the Kemp Center, and I asked Dick if I would be paid. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a quarter, 2 dimes, and a nickel, gave them to me and said, of course you will be paid. Dick was my role model, my mentor, my teacher, and my friend. And he is why I am the person I am today. He is funny, positive, knowledgeable, energetic, and very focused on his mission, which has always been to end child abuse. From the very beginning, Dick has embraced Henry Kemp's goal to end child abuse, and now we need to help him achieve this goal. Thank you to all of you.